What remains of Edith Finch? Well, that remains to be seen. We are in Sam's room, and he shared this room with his brother, and his brother's name is Kelvin. And I think Kelvin is the next person we're going to find out what happened to. So let's take away the rope.
And that he never talked about him.
Sam never talked about Kelvin. He died young. He died at what age? 11. Sam didn't get old either. He was 23. 33, actually. Alright, we're going into the command center.
I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
It's like a shrine.
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it.
And now we are Sam. Kelvin? We are Kelvin. Yeah, that is Sam probably. So let me check that again. Yeah, they're like grand uncles to Edith. And apparently he broke his foot.
My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom. And he did. At Barbara's funeral, we swore we'd never be afraid again. And he wasn't. I think Calvin always wanted to fly.
Sam! Calvin! Dinner's ready! Coming!
But that day, he finally made up his mind to do it. I told him going around was impossible. Maybe if I hadn't said that.
Calvin! I'm not gonna tell you again!
Or maybe if the wind hadn't picked up. Then maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt it. I think he'd already made up his mind. That's what I want to remember about my brother. The day he made up his mind to fly. And he did.
Calvin's story felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing.
Wow. Alright. That's the story of Kelvin. I think that was one of the most powerful scenes up to this moment. I mean, controlling the swing. You feel the anticipation rising. I mean, Sam presents it that Kelvin, dies right there. And I guess he fell from the swing. He flew off. And that's how Kelvin met his end. Impressing. All right. Let's continue.
After the funeral, Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room.
I'm not sure what is next.
Mom said Grandpa Sam enlisted at 18 and never set foot in the room again.
This is next. A secret passageway, which
The passages
leads...
were a pretty tight fit. They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies.
Okay, before we go in here, let's see what happens here. Okay, that's another room. Possibly Milton's room, but he could also have been here just. Let's see. I guess this is a shortcut. Yeah, because we've been here before. That's where, you know, Odin Finch is, his portrait.
Growing up, I always thought of Barbara as a child star.
Right, it's Barbara, the child star. She was like her grand aunt, if that's a word. She was only 16 though. So she was a movie star. Maybe, you know, drugs did her in. Or some other kind of, I don't know. We'll see. My Friend Bigfoot with Daniel Day-Lewis. No, that's with Bill Bunton. That's My Left Foot. This is a kind of a you know, very scary monkey. I love the detail in this room. Seattle starlets.
I never thought about how hard it must have been for her afterwards.
Is this still a... This is just rotten, I guess. But it's still there. That's strange. Yeah, there we go. She already smoked at the age of 16. Barb Street. She had a street named after her already. Alright, the only thing we can interact with here seems to be at her shrine, a magazine. Dreadful stories.
Of all the stories people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one.
Old Jack here with another ghastly tale inspired by America's most unfortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch. As a child star, Barbara was famous for her scream. Now at 16, she was all washed up. A has-been. But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost her career needed. Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well.
Getting better. I think you just need the right motivation.
Her biggest fan and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate when...
Now that was a great scream.
It was Barbara's father, Sven. He'd slipped into a table saw and had to be rushed to the emergency room. So Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter. Her convention comeback was cancelled.
Okay, I'm hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
That came from the basement.
You're right! Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is your basement door locked?
Because my dad likes making puzzles and secret passages. There's a key hidden in the music box. The secret is to keep winding and winding until finally the key pops out.
Thanks, babe. I'll be back in a sec.
20 minutes later, Rick hadn't returned. So Barbara went to look for him, right on cue. She reached for the music box.
Oh man. Very creative.
And as she wound the key, she listened for Rick, but the house was silent. She found Rick's crutch and imagined the worst.
We can freely swing with this thing. Did I say already that this is very creative and you know, it's very nicely done. Cell shaded gameplay in a comic book.
The gang's leader is the infamous Hookman killer, Dr. Carl Hamill, who impaled and then ate his family 10 years ago tonight.
Let's keep on going. I wonder if there are any secrets to be had here. But for now I'm just going to continue.
The old fridge rattled and grew still.
Oh dear! Rick?
Barb, relax. I was just trying to scare you to help you find your scream.
Well, I'm not scared, Rick. I'm furious.
Then act furious. All I'm getting from you now is that you're hurt and confused and you're...
She threw him out, but she kept a little something to remember him by.
Barb, have you seen my other crutch?
And she was still holding it when she fell asleep watching the late picture show. Hours later...
Barbara! Walter, what's going on up there? Ah! Okay, I'm coming up, but if this is a trick, you're dead, Walter.
Okay, Walter. Why is there a skeleton in front of the door with a creepy eye? This is a very, you know, trendy looking chair. Doesn't seem too comfy though. I guess it's Halloween. That's why there is this stuff all over the entrance. Random roller skater, and what's that? Is that a spider? Well, this is cramped, so we have to go this way. Walter, who is Walter again? Walter did get quite a little bit older. We were in his room already with Edith.
Walter, are you there?
Walter had vanished, but his bedside radio was still on.
Orcas Island police describe the man as 6 feet tall, with a steel hook for a hand. Residents are urged to lock all doors and windows and notify the police of any suspicious activity.
Barbara turned, saw the hook man, and was speechless. He was quite smashing. And where he was, he couldn't get enough of Barbara.
Okay, Barbara, there's gotta be another way out of here.
What's this? Okay, so a hook man is after us. This is really turning into a, you know, straightforward horror movie.
That night, she played her part beautifully.
Of course, the most creepy person in all this situation is the narrator. Okay. Molly, yeah, this is Molly's room, and Molly is one generation... No, that's actually her sister, who I guess died already at this point.
Molly's door hadn't been opened in years. The hinges groaned. He wasn't moving, but she sensed the story might not be over yet.
Wow. That was an interesting style. Okay, where the hell do we go? We just maybe smash him a little bit more? Alright. He's probably gone when we turn, right? I mean... Yep.
The hookman had vanished. She listened for his breathing, but all she heard was...
the doorbell.
Someone at the door was dying to speak to young Barbara. At the door, she heard whispering. It was coming from inside the house.
Oh dear.
The monsters had come to surprise her. For Barbara, it was a dream come true. Then she saw what kind of monsters they were, and she realized what was about to happen. She was going to be famous. And with her final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance of her life. I wasn't there myself, but I hear Barbara was magnificent. Poor girl. She had a taste for stardom. But unfortunately, so did her fans. Of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night. And little Walter? Hiding under his bed the whole time. He took it all pretty hard, but that's another story. As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box was all they ever found of her. her ear. Now that's what I call a real eerie tale.
Edie told me all Barbara wanted was to be remembered, as absurd as that comic was. Maybe what Edie saw was a happy ending.
So Barbara died in a weird manner, and I guess they all died in a weird manner. And somehow the game is not literally telling us how people died. I guess maybe that is what Edie made up in her mind. I'm not sure about this yet. Anyway, that's it for today, people. Thank you for watching. We've learned the fate of Kelvin and Barbara. And there are still some people remaining, like Edith's parents, for instance, and Walter. So, stay tuned.